he's the manager of England.
Yeah.
I don't think he's very good. All the 11 of them are sort of defending. The talent that England have, these are generational talents.
Hello guys, welcome to It's Not Tom, Dick or Harry episode 1. My name's Ash, this is Omar, that's Arvin. We're going to go straight into the Euro 2024. Guys, so what do you think at the moment in terms of your teams? Who's a favourite for you guys at the moment?
If you're asking me right now, my favourite is Spain. I think Spain have shown, probably for me, they've been the most consistent in terms of the way they're playing. The only thing I would worry about is that thing that you always say is that maybe they peaked too early.
You think, do you know, now that I've watched the Euros, I genuinely think there's a few dark horses, and I think not maybe a favourite, but a favourite of mine is Austria. Because they played really well against Netherlands, and I know Netherlands aren't really that great. They're not as great as they used to be. So you've got the likes of Ruud back in the day, Seedorf even coming a bit closer. You've got really great players like that.
Yeah.
But now they're not really as great. They have got a good team, but I still think Austria, for me, maybe not favourites, but they're in the same pool as England. Obviously, we all want England to win.
In my opinion, I would say I wouldn't put Austria as dark horses. I don't think they've got enough quality to go and win the tournament. I think there's there's better teams than Austria in the competition. But like you're saying with England, they're on the favourable side of the draw. The teams that if Gareth Southgate somehow doesn't get to the final, I mean, you already know my view. Arvin, you won't know probably much on this, on my opinion. Sorry, not much in terms of football, but in terms of my opinions of Gareth Southgate are quite strong. He's the manager of England. I don't think he's very good. Because with the team that he's got and the talent that England have, these are generational talents. Foden, generational talent. Bellingham,
I think he's hitting. I think Bellingham's hitting the bracket. If you know what I mean. He's a generational talent, but I think he's not there yet.
Yeah, but I'm saying Southgate's got loads of. When we say generational talent, Alvin, what we mean is once in a generation these players come along. They're like the top players, the Zidans, the Ronaldinhos, Pele, Maradona. Not quite maybe their heights, but they're really, really top players. Now Southgate, who's the manager of England, has probably about 6 or 7 of these guys. So if you're not getting to the final with the route that I've got, because if you look at England's route to the final, it's playing quite mediocre teams really, at best. It's no disrespect to the likes of the teams that they're going to play, but they're not the best.
But Arvin, what do you think on your side? Who do you think could be a favourite, or is a bit of a dark horse, or what players taking your
from what you've seen so
caught
far?
your eye from what you've seen so far in Euros?
I think I have seen Cristiano playing really good. He was passing a lot. He was really unselfish in playing. So I think that is a really good game. So I'd like to see him playing similar way going forward. And on last game, his pass to his teammate on push towards the last goal was he could have scored it himself, but
he was quite unselfish there, to be fair, when he set up Fernandes.
I think, to be fair, look, my personal opinion on Cristiano Ronaldo is a great player. He is at the moment in his career where he's probably thinking more of himself.
Of his career.
Of himself, which is understandable. He's not really thinking about the team, because he's not that he isn't thinking about the team. So that's a bit of a bad way to put it. It's more a case of, I think he's trying to get as many goals as possible, win as many trophies as possible, because I'm going to retire soon. That's how I think of it. Inside, he knows somewhere that in the back of his mind that he's going to retire somewhere along the line. It's close now, and I think you can see that in his play. He's a bit more desperate. He does a bit more few things where he wants to make it tick.
I think, in fairness, I think he's always been like that.
And
that's Ronaldo's character. He's the man.
He is,
And even now, you look at him. What is he? 39 years old. He's still the man.
I think he's.
You look at Portugal, you see him. He stands out regardless of what you do. The one thing
against Georgia, against Georgia, they took him off, and they put, I think, is it Ramos? They put on Ramos towards the end. And you could tell that Ramos, the difference of the whole aura of that.
When they say aura. When they say Van Dijk's aura, Ronaldo is someone that has the aura.
He's like literally. I mean, like Ronaldo, Messi, they're obviously, whenever you mention Ronaldo, you're going to mention
Pinnacle of
Messi.
the sport,
And whenever you mention Messi, you're going to mention Ronaldo.
Of course,
But
yeah.
these two players, for me, I think are going to be are the greatest. And I know you've got Pele, you've got Maradona, awesome. But in terms of how long they've gone into their careers and how many goals they've scored and how long they've performed at 10 out of 10s, I think
I think one thing you've got to be careful about in our generation,
yeah.
because we can't comment on
Maradona.
really on Pele and
Maradona.
Maradona. I never watched him play.
Exactly.
I can
Never
see
lied.
clips. I can see Maradona was amazing. I can
Yeah.
see Pele was amazing,
Yeah.
but we never saw them week
Play,
in, week
yeah.
out.
Mm.
Whereas Messi and Ronaldo, we've grew up with them,
Grew up, yeah.
so we've seen them from here to here to here to keep just hitting heights.
See, as a
We've
Chelsea
never
fan, Messi didn't score past us.
Here we go.
For a long time.
Past us.
So like it was Conte who was our manager, and I think it was at the new camp Messi scored past us. Before that, he didn't. He missed that penalty in the semi-finals when they could have. They could.
Sorry to interrupt, guys. He's a Chelsea fan. I'm an Arsenal fan, and he's a Liverpool fan.
Yes.
So you will get a lot of clashing going on around there. But you know, I'll let you
But
continue.
no,
about
that's
Chelsea.
fine. And that's how I remember it. Like in terms of he didn't score past us, and then he did. But in terms of greatness, in my opinion, obviously we've gone a bit off Euro 2024. Coming back onto that, is that in terms of players,
Yeah.
you've gone Cristiano Ronaldo. For me, I'll be honest with you, there's only one outstanding player that I've actually seen, and I thought, wow. I do have a soft spot for the Italian team. I obviously support England. I want England to win the World Cup, win the Euros, win everything. But I do have a soft spot for the Italian team. And I seen, is it Nico Williams for Spain? Ooh, he was good. And I heard it on the radio this morning, and they were bang on right. He was something different. Right? He attacked the wing, he attacked the fullback. I've just not seen a lot of that happen. Where I've seen a lot of players try to cut in, and I've seen a lot of players who might be, for instance, not really a winger of sort or more of an inside forward than a winger, and they've gone on to play on the left wing.
I'll
And they've
say
always cut in.
it's a tough one really, because I don't think there's been a standout player this tournament.
Yeah,
I know Williams.
No.
You're saying he's shone for
No.
Spain,
There's
Yeah.
an
but
argument.
I
for
don't
that.
think there's been one player which you could look at and say, you know what, he's took this tournament by storm so far. Obviously, it's only group stages that are finished. I mean, for me, it was probably going to be Mbappe if there's anyone. Obviously, he had a broken
the
nose.
broken nose.
But even then, when I've watched France play, I've not really seen it and thought, wow, he's really hit the tournament up. It's hard.
I know. So, Arvin,
It's a tough one.
what do you think in terms of a team that you feel that could probably progress further,
And win the tournament.
or even a favourite of your team? Like, who's one of your favourite teams?
My favorite team is of course Portugal,
Yeah.
but I have also seen that Romania playing really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Romania.
The Romanians have done really well to qualify.
Yeah.
yeah.
They have.
So I think Romania could be.
I think they've got who have they got next? It's not Netherlands, is it? Is it Netherlands?
I think it is Netherlands.
It is Netherlands. Yeah.
So,
That'll be a good game.
Yeah.
And they're in the same pool as England.
Yeah.
So Netherlands are going to play either Turkey or Austria.
Yeah, and then I think that one of those two would then play if England
If
progress.
England
they play
progress,
England.
because England will play either Italy or Switzerland.
Lucky
Oh,
Southgate gets his luck of the draw
Yeah.
game. Somehow, this manager, Aravind, I'm telling you, he somehow gets the easiest route to the finals. You know, the
Yeah.
England manager, even last year,
Last
he
year,
gets the easiest route. So that's why when we say now, there's even more onus on him to win this tournament.
Is it just the manager, or is it some kind of sync between the players that might?
No, it's a tough one because we spoke about this sort of last week.
Yeah.
And I was, even though I'm against the manager because I don't think he's got the pedigree, I don't think he's got the history,
Yeah.
I don't really think he's got enough about him to suggest that he could go and win tournaments regularly, which he hasn't done, to be fair. But I would say that it is difficult as well because if you look at the players, a lot of them haven't played together.
Yeah.
You know, you look at the front line that he's playing, he's got Foden, Kane, Saka. Foden last tournament didn't play that
Play
much.
at all, yeah.
He was off the bench, if anything.
Correct.
Kane and Saka did, fair enough. But then you've got Bellingham
Yeah.
in midfield, you've got Rice, and then you've got whoever the odd one is that he picks, Trent, who doesn't play midfield.
If you look at it like that,
Gallagher, they
the
don't
last
play
Euros,
together.
he had Sterling in there.
Yeah.
And you had the likes of Henderson in there.
Yeah.
But this is probably a good opportunity for the audience. That what do you guys think in terms of Euros? Who's your favourite team, or who you think might win it, and also who's your favourite player, and who do you think that the outstanding player at the moment is up until after the group stages.
Let us know your thoughts, guys.
Let us know your thoughts.
One other thing that I was thinking about that day is if you look at this Euros, this tournament so far, compared to the standard of ones before, I don't think it's been as good.
Yeah,
I think the quality of football. Sorry to interrupt, but I do think one thing you see a lot of now is a lot of the teams are just parking the bus, kind of not parking, but 11 behind the ball, the low block, the counter attack. I mean, it's working. Don't get me wrong. Because we've seen like England's games were like a ball fest. And again, I put that partly down to Southgate and the system he plays, but I also sort of feel for him because every team they've come up against, they've just defended. Defensive. They've not really come out and attacked. If a team comes out and attacks, you exploit the spaces.
Look, it's a bit like I'd say coming back to what I watch. What I watch is Chelsea, where at times we've come against the lesser teams and we struggle because they play a low block type of football, where they put all the men behind the ball and then hit the team on counter attack. And I think Southgate's got that in the back of his mind. He's thinking that if I play too attacking, we're going to get hit on the counter, and maybe he doesn't trust his defence. But what I can see is that as the tournament gets on and we play maybe better calibre of teams who come out, I think hopefully then, touch wood, that we can attack and we can see a bit more like a bit more attacking football, a bit more good patterns of play, nice free flowing football. At the moment, you're not seeing it at all, and I do think it's partly to blame for Southgate because I feel as though this is a bit of a new type of tactic. I don't think it's something that he's always played. I think it's not his fault because he's seen that Sterling struggled. He's not got the likes of Rashford, who he might have been planning with. Grealish is another one. He might have had these three players, maybe even Phillips to an extent because he loves Phillips.
Yeah, but the truth then you come back to is that if he needed one of those guys, why not pick him?
Yeah, and I think
if he thinks that I was going to come up against that,
but that's the
sorry for anyone over like you guys and maybe the audience that doesn't know what when we say low block. So if you come up, a team like England, like I said, full of really good, wonderful players. If you come up against a team that's generally not so good or inferior, what they will tend to do is they will put all 11 players behind the ball. So if I've got the ball, all the 11 of them are sort of defending. So it's hard to get through to actually score a goal. So you have to be more creative, you've got to be a bit more methodical in your passing, you're moving. So that's just to explain, in case you're wondering what low block is.
But it's a new term though. I'm a bit more old-fashioned where you have 11 players behind the ball.
It's part of the bus.
Part of the bus, And our generation is called probably part of the bus because we, again, had a fantastic manager in Jose Mourinho who actually came up with the term part of the bus.
I think he is part of the bus.
Yeah, he is basically part of the bus.
I mean, fair enough, look, if it works for the team that's doing it, fair enough. I don't believe that term when people say it's negative football because it's not.
I don't think because
football can't be negative. It's football's different viewpoints, really.
Exactly.
What you like to see, what I like to see is different to what someone else likes to see.
Well, me personally, I like winning football. So if at times we need, you can play a free-flowing type of attacking football, great. My team's won 4-5-0, I'm happy. But if they then go somewhere, say for instance like Man City, they go to Arsenal away and they play a low block or they play a part of the bus and then they nick a win of 1-0, 2-0, anything, or even a draw 0-0 sometimes is a good result. I'd take that personally as for us to progress because then you move on to the next one. But I can also see on the other side where some people might find it as though we don't want that type of football. We want free flow.
I mean, I feel like as an Arsenal fan, in the last probably 15-20 years, I've kind of seen the whole curve of that because we had Wenger who used to just play that expansive football, but sometimes we could get hammered 5-0, 6-0. But now we've got someone in Arteta who still plays good football, but can also switch us to play the other style.
Arteta can do.
He can do both.
Yeah, because you've seen it last year. Man City. He did basically.
He went for the result.
Yeah, he went for the result 0-0.
We could have. To be fair, we probably could have. We had a few probably better chances than them. We could have won the game.
But then, do you?
I've kind of come full circle on that.
But do you think that obviously we've gone a bit away from Euros 2024, so we are going to go a little bit away? In terms of an Arsenal point of view, do you think that they could have done with a ruthless striker at that point? Because you can't buy a striker just for the sake of buying a striker.
I don't think so. And the reason I say that is because if you look at, I know I don't always like to look at stats. If you look at the stats, we're one of the highest scoring teams in the season.
Yeah.
Now, some of the chances that were missed, I don't really see a ruthless striker out there that puts them away. Bar maybe Harry Kane. Of the old school mould, if you look at all the strikers now,
I don't think there's an out and out awesome striker.
if you look at more now, they miss so many chances. Whether it's Ollie Watkins, Ivan Toney, you know, I don't think they're level raisers for us.
See, look, with us, like when we were younger, we'd get strikers that
Just pure finish.
were finishers, were predators in the box. Yeah. Look, his stats weren't great, but in terms of big games, Didier Drogba was awesome. But going back, you got the likes of the original Rooney, who was
We used
absolutely
to have the likes of like Inzaghi. These guys were just when we talk about
Inzaghi would have nowhere near enough goals involved.
when we talk about these players, Alvin, they're like when we say a ruthless striker, so someone up front that plays up front in the team. Regardless of when the chance falls to them, they will score because they've got that instinct of just knowing where the goal is and where they're going to put the ball. That's when we talk about ruthless strikers. Nowadays, you've got strikers that more, I would say, like to get involved in the game. But when the chance comes, they might need like 5 chances to score 1 goal.
You can't have
Whereas
a
you can
striker
get-
now that would not touch. Even the stats kind of kill you as well, because a striker could go on where they did not go near the goal for like 50 odd minutes, but then a ball will come in from the left wing with the right wing and bang, they've scored a header. I can't see any.
I mean, the exception to the rule is probably Haaland. Would you say?
Yeah, but he misses a lot of chances. And last year against us
He
guys,
did last year, but look, generally he's the
Yeah,
closest
yeah.
thing that you will get now to a ruthless
striker.
striking machine is probably Haaland. I mean, one thing I do think though, he's not, for me, he's not really turned up in the big games.
Yeah.
I think that's evidence last season, even the one before. He's not really the type of guy, he's not your go-to guy if you need a goal.
He picks up 4 or 5 goals
in a
against
big
like
game.
with all due respect to likes like perhaps like Norwich, a team like Norwich, or
Like Luton
Yeah,
last year when he
Luton.
scored like, I think he scored 4 or
four goals or
so
something.
yeah, so we he's not really like
He's not like
A predator.
It's a good start to get up.
big
But
game.
against the top 6 teams, so top 5 teams. Let's see what his goals are. I can't see them being a lot personally.
I don't think he scored against us last year.
But because I'll be honest, I don't even think he scored against. To be fair, he scored against us. I think he scored against us twice. One was a penalty and one was open play. But they drew that game anyway. But what my point is that I think not only Haaland is like that, I think Man City are like that. Because if you look at some of the top 5 teams that play, I don't think they're near enough to the top 3 in that little mini league table. Because I think they've not really got results against those top 5 teams.
What
either.
signing do you think would be best for Arsenal or Chelsea now?
You can go first.
I don't think we've got enough time for this one.
You can go first.
So Aaron, for me, to be honest with you, we've got a lot of players we probably need to sell. When I say a lot, I mean maybe 4 or 5 sort of fringe players.
Okay, to make it easier, let's say the 3 players that you'd sell and the 3 players you'd buy.
Yes.
That'd be
Okay, I would sell from an Arsenal point of view. I'm selling Nketiah,
Yeah.
because I don't think he's good enough to play for us.
Yeah.
I'm selling Zinchenko because of his reliability. He's amazing controlling the game, controlling the ball.
Yeah.
But you know, remember me and you were watching the Arsenal-Liverpool game,
Yeah.
and we would have probably won that game. Maybe touch wood, we would have won.
Yeah.
But
As
the
soon
one
as you said-
liability, as soon as Salah got the
Salah
ball
got
and
the
he was
ball.
one-on-one with Zinchenko,
Zinchenko.
I said this is a goal,
Goal,
and he hits
yeah.
it top corner.
Yeah.
And Zinchenko
Yeah.
lets
I
him
actually
come
remember
in
that,
on his strongest foot, which I don't understand as a defender how you do it. So Nketiah, Zinchenko, and then possibly, and I'm torn on this one, is Emile Smith-Rowe. I love the player
Yeah.
because he's an Arsenal youth product.
But that's 2 players you've got there that you get like pure profit for.
It's
Which is
true,
good
yeah.
thinking,
You're probably looking at 30 million for Nketiah, 30 million for Smith-Rowe, maybe at
Yeah.
push 25, 30 million.
And
That's a good 90 million. Plus with what we can spend ourselves, we need a striker. We do need a striker.
Yeah.
Whether I say it's one of those £100 million strikers, I don't think so.
Yeah.
I think we just need someone that can sort of like, you know how you get a Julian Alvarez, that
Yeah.
kind of you can bring in here and there. He could chip in with maybe
But would
10,
you want a
15
striker,
goals.
coming back to that whole thing, would you want a striker that's ruthless? Or would you want a striker that does it all? A bit like...
No, I would say because the striker we've got that does it all, in my opinion, for us now is Havertz.
Yeah.
I think he's done that last season. He scored, he set up, he's a nuisance. He makes
Havertz,
space.
by the way,
Yeah.
used to play for Chelsea,
Oh,
and we sold him for 65 million.
65 million.
Let's just call it 65 million, and he scored our
You could
Champions
call it
League winning goal.
you could call it 70 million.
He-
I'm
he
so
scored-
happy.
he
I'm
scored
very
that
happy
Champions
with the signings.
No,
regardless
he's
of-
very happy, but you know me personally, coming back onto this, thank you very much for what you've done, but I was happy that we sold him. Obviously, didn't want him to go
I think
to
look,
Arsenal.
Havertz is a system
but-
player, and he didn't work in
Yeah,
Chelsea's
yeah.
system at the time.
Yeah, yeah.
He
Yeah.
clearly works in Arsenal's
Yeah, yeah.
system because he's shown probably the last half of the season he was excellent for us. So anyway, coming back to what I was saying,
So now
a
who would you
striker.
bring in? But what do you, let's name one or two strikers. Like, so we
Well,
know
we've been linked
roughly
with
the
we've been
profile
linked with
that-
Arsenal.
Yeah.
Now
okay.
again, but that's where I'm saying that's probably a
He's-
£100 million striker.
Yeah, even we've been linked with him.
I mean, I'd love to get him, but
But
it's
not for that.
obviously. But look, to me, it's not my money.
Yeah.
If we can afford it, go and get him.
See, that's the
Go and get him. That's the
problem
beauty
with
of being a fan.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
not my money, so
But
go and get him.
the new, like the neo fan now that you have is where you do look at stuff like PSR.
Yeah,
And you
you
look
look
at
at all
what the
this.
wages, but really, truth
You know,
is,
it's not my job to look at that. I'm a
Yes.
fan, so go and get
I'm
him.
not an
End of
accountant.
story, that's
yeah,
it.
I'm not an accountant.
So if we can get him. And to be honest with you, I've not seen enough of him, but he's probably looks like the one that can do everything and possibly has that bit of ruthless streak in it.
got two
So as
more.
a striker, probably be him. A midfielder, I've looked at. I've seen two actually this tournament playing. So one's João Neves for Portugal,
yeah, he's
what is this midfielder?
midfielder. So he's like a central midfielder.
I'm not,
kind of controlling
I've
the
heard
game.
of Antonio Silva.
No, not
The
Antonio. This
centre
is
back.
João Neves. I think he
Yeah.
plays for Benfica off the top of my head.
Yeah,
If I'm not wrong.
Antonio Silva plays for Benfica. then.
Oh, he's looked quite good, and there's that Zubamendi that plays for Spain. So he
Yeah.
came on for Rodri that
I think he
day.
plays for Real Sociedad.
Yeah,
Is it?
Sociedad he is. So I think he's got a release clause of about 50-60 million, which
Oh,
is not
okay.
a bad buy because we definitely need a midfielder.
That's a bit more.
Sorry,
creative.
coming back to when I was saying we're going to sell 3 players, I'd actually take ESL off that and sell Emil Smith Rowe. I'd take him off that and probably sell Partey. As good as
Partey,
Partey
yeah.
is, he's very unreliable. His injury record is not great. Let's not get into anything else.
Yeah, let's not talk about
And
anything else.
he's someone that I would probably sell.
Yeah, fair enough.
So he's a very good player, but he's always quite injured. He's injured for us, so he's never really available for
yeah.
Darwin.
Oh,
It-
So
it
he's
might
someone
be,
that I would
yeah.
think let's sell him.
for yeah.
So
It
whatever
might
you
also
can get.
be a good time to address the audience who there might be an Arsenal fan out there that thinks they can do a better job than what Omar just said.
I'm not doing a job. But let me
So,
know.
better
let me know,
opinion.
let me
Yeah,
know.
better
If you
opinion.
think we should sign someone
And
else, let me know.
Which 3 players that you think that need to be sold from the squad, and which 3 players you think you should actually buy? Some realistic ones. Let's not go for players that you know that aren't going to come, like Mbappe. He's just moved to Real Madrid.
Well, obviously we can't get him. We
Yeah,
just signed
but there
for
was
someone
loads
else.
of like rumours
There
going
was
around that
no
he could go to
rumours that he
Arsenal,
was
he
not
could go
going
to
to go to
Liverpool.
Arsenal. We
But he was
can't-
never
we
going to
can't
go
even afford
there.
his wages.
Yeah, exactly. There was loads even rumours that they were going
So
to
you
come
do
to
know
Chelsea.
Aaron Mbappe signed for Real Madrid.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So if their team wasn't good enough already,
yeah,
now it's like
definitely.
unbelievable.
Yeah. Well,
When you're talking about a team that just keeps winning Champions Leagues left, right, centre, they just signed probably.
So
one.
guys, if you could put them in the comments, you could put your names in there, and even a little like description to say what you think and why you think you should sign that player. Maybe it could be a hidden gem that you know of, and you want your team Arsenal to sign them. Still pretty good. We could have a look at it as well. We could check the comments out and see what player could be the next. I don't know, the
Yeah.
Ronaldo or Messi or.
So anyway, I would say for us, striker, centre mid, left back.
Yeah.
Now, from a Chelsea point of view,
Whew, I don't
This-
know where to.
let's stop this. First, let's ask Aravind why he supports Liverpool, and then you can start thinking about Chelsea.
That's fine.
Basically, I started supporting Liverpool just because my brother started supporting Liverpool. So
Oh, fair enough.
I am not that kind of person who follows football a lot, but I've seen him watching football, supporting Liverpool. So
Sorry, is that
Yeah.
your brother back in India? who
Yes,
scored it?
yes.
Oh, okay, fantastic.
Yeah.
So he's followed them through in India as well.
yes,
Oh, brilliant.
To be fair, family is one of the biggest
Yeah,
influences
yeah,
you can
yeah.
have
It
in
is,
supporting
it
a
is.
team.
Yeah, yeah.
Although mine was absolutely no influence.
Yeah. Mine was 100% influenced.
Mine was not
Yeah.
influenced by that. We
Yeah.
can come to that on another
Another
episode as to
episode,
why
yeah.
I support Arsenal. But yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
You've seen
Yeah.
your brother watching it.
So basically, the team that I support the most is I don't know if people around here has heard of it. Kerala Blasters.
Okay,
okay.
so is
Yeah.
that it's like an Indian league?
Indian League, yeah.
Tell us more about that.
Yeah, KBFC actually, I think this year it's pretty new club. So
Okay.
it has been not more than 10 years since it
Oh,
has
very
gone.
new, yeah.
Yeah, it is very new.
Football terms.
exactly. And
Just sorry to interrupt, but if you give us
this particular team that was formed around 10 years back.
okay.
So its hometown is basically where I come from. So
Okay.
I've
So if you don't mind, just for the audience, like where do you come from in India?
yeah, I'm basically from Kerala. At the beginning stage, around 2014 to 16, at that time nobody even in my hometown knew much about this club
okay.
or team. But on a later stage, people started knowing about it, and now this team has got a huge fan base back in India.
Yeah, that's quite amazing,
Yeah.
isn't it? Really,
Oh,
because
it's
I
nice.
can't imagine like. I mean, I'm going back now. Maybe I started supporting Arsenal what, 15, 20 years ago.
Mm.
Whatever. I'm not that old, but anyway, 15, 20 years ago. But to be able to follow a club from right from the start
To
and then watch them grow.
yeah.
Is like
It's different,
I mean,
yeah,
something
I
that
think-
I will never experience. You will never,
no.
as an Arsenal
No.
Chelsea fan, because these teams are formed.
Look, I can say
Hundreds of years
yeah,
ago.
I supported
okay.
Chelsea, but around 1996, 1997-ish era, and I can tell you, yeah, no way.
But
that
you're
I
already
would-
talking about an
yeah,
established
club.
Same with
teams.
Arsenal that
Yeah.
have already got a massive history.
You a massive.
But you're
following as
kind
well.
of
yeah.
you're part of this history now, where
Yeah,
you're there when they were made. Basically.
Yeah.
exactly.
That's the special
And
thing.
back in those days, when these matches are held in my hometown, we never needed a ticket to watch it because
Okay.
there was that much less people inside the stadium.
Okay.
And later, when the things passed by, we used to park our bikes far away from the stadium and used to walk to the
What is
stadium
it?
just to
Because
avoid
it's
the
so
traffic.
busy. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. That's what happens. Or how many games have I been to where I've parked my car like about an
Blocks
hour
away
away,
and
40 minutes
walk
away,
Yeah.
and I've had to walk it or get the tube in. To
Yes. I think the club is having their pre-season camp this July.
yeah. So
So
that's a good actual
So do
question.
they do their
for the next,
pre-season in? Did they do their pre-season
Yeah,
in India?
that's
or-
my
no,
question as well.
I think it's on.
Yeah.
This is in Thailand.
Oh,
So I think they'll be there for about 20 to 30 days.
Does this season you have to pick between the two, Liverpool or your home team?
Like, they're never going to
Which
play each other, so don't make
Yeah.
don't let you choose. Don't let him make you choose. They're not going to play each other. Not
If
yet
they don't,
anyway.
yeah, they might, yeah, they don't
He's
know
going to
how-
pick his home team, obviously.
of
if they
course,
play,
yeah.
I'm sorry, not answering for you, but I'm guessing you're going to pick your home
Yeah,
team.
he will pick his home team, but also in terms of Liverpool,
Yeah.
who would you actually, if you were to say tomorrow someone's going to give you a, like a VIP ticket, would you go watch Liverpool? Would you go back and watch your home team play?
I would just go watch home team.
Ah, no, I'm not sure I believe that, Arvin. I think you'd be biking it to Liverpool.
Guys, just a quick question. What do you think Arvin would really do?
Yeah, if any
Let's, if he was telling the truth, what would he do?
if any KBFC fan sees this right now, then comment your thoughts as well.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, yeah,
100%.
yeah.
They might
Tell
have
us,
something else to
exactly,
say.
yeah, tell us more about what you think are the best players, what players could improve, and what players they could sign to make their team better.
So it's KBFC.
KBFC, yeah.
And what strip did they play?
colour.
Kick.
Oh, yellow.
Yellow. Oh,
Yeah.
fair enough.
So the another name of this team is Manjapada.
Oh,
Manja
okay.
means yellow, so we call it Manjapada.
Fair enough.
Yeah,
fair enough.
Yellow Army. That is
Okay. So coming last on to me because we could do with a lot of time here.
Right,
you
so
haven't
guys, we're
got
going
this
to
time.
finish with his, what he wants Chelsea to do now. If you fall asleep at this part, I don't blame you. Because
no,
I've heard,
I'm gonna
I've
keep
heard
it-
a lot of this, Aaron.
No.
I zone out at this part.
Yeah.
I'm
No,
joking. But
no,
go on,
it's-
let's
it's-
give us
look,
your thoughts.
to-
Who are you going to sell?
to be
3
fair-
you're going to sell. Let's not go for the whole squad.
No.
3 you're going to sell. I know Sterling's going to be in there. 3 you're going to sell. 3 you're going to buy. Go on.
To be fair, 3 that I'm going to sell, I wouldn't put Sterling in there. I
What?
think you need to. I know I'm shocked at myself. I'm shocked.
The amount of abuse that Sterling has got from
I haven't-
Ash
no,
this
no,
season is
no,
diabolical.
no,
The
no.
amount of abuse this player has carried out of him,
No.
and he's saying he
it's
wouldn't
not
sell him.
abuse, it's constructive criticism.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
what it is.
We'll let the
And,
audience
okay,
be the
okay,
judge
I
of
will
that.
go
You know, one day
further.
when we live stream a game and we're watching it,
Yeah.
we will live stream a game and we'll record it. You can see
How-
if this is
how this
constructive
is.
or not.
Yeah, yeah.
exactly.
The only way we live stream a Chelsea game is if they're playing, I don't know, someone in the Conference League where I think I could relax. I could
No,
not
no,
live
no, no, no,
stream.
no. We're gonna live stream a game, and you will see. So anyway, going back to what
Okay,
you were.
my 3 that we'd sell. Ooh. It's going to be one of the centre backs. If we're obviously been linked with one of the centre backs, I wouldn't want to sell Trevor, but I think my head tells me Trevor Chalobah's going to get sold. But,
What do you think about like obviously Wesley Fofana? Because I know you signed him for a lot of money, but he seems to be a bit He's struggling with the injury.
Yeah, I think he's, from what I can see, videos wise, and what I can see in terms of the rumblings on the club, he is getting back to fitness. They didn't want to risk him too early with quite a few of the players that have done, because it's a major injury which he's done again. Now, in terms of selling, see, I've only changed my mind the past 2-3 months because he goes up.
So you've gone Trevor for the first one?
Yeah,
Trevor Chalobah.
Yeah, my head says Trevor Chalobah. I don't want Connor to go.
You think they'll sell him?
But I think they will sell him. That my head says that. But in terms of midfielder, there are some fringe midfielders that they're going to probably get rid of. Like it's the Italian lad that went to Leicester. I think it's Caladasi. I think he signed last year. I think he's probably going to go on maybe a loan or part of a deal that's currently happening with another player from Leicester. But the last one, I'd say, it's very hard, because I think Chelsea are more going to sell fringe players rather than the favourite players. But I wouldn't be surprised if, like I said, another centre back gets sold, so like maybe a Disasi, or what will.
I don't know. I thought Disasi was quite good last season though. He has his moments, yeah, but so do a lot of
No. Look, to be fair, when we first signed him,
you've only signed him last season, haven't you?
I thought he was going to be like a bit better than Trevor, but I think
Trevor has got quite good.
He looked really assured at the back.
Was it again? Who was it? He scored that header again.
Tottenham scored a brilliant header. And the funny thing is, Disasi had an opportunity to score against Man United, which was pretty much similar type of header, opportunity. Trevor took it, Disasi didn't. And now I don't know what the club, in terms of, again, I hate doing this because I'm not an accountant.
Yeah.
PSR, what's happening?
Don't need one. We don't need you to be an accountant. That young money, don't worry about it. The amount you lot have spent, we don't need accountants involved in this. We need the amount of Chelsea spent. We probably need about 50, a whole firm of accountants. Anyway, okay, so you sold.
So
who you buying?
Three. Okay, people are going to hate me for this. I think Chelsea fans, you can hate me in the comments if you don't agree.
Hate him.
I don't think Kieran Dewsbury-Hall is a bad signing. Everyone's like, oh, but Chukwuemeka, will he go? Will he not? And Chukwuemeka's a really good player as well. It's a number 8, I'd say, and you probably fit into Enzo's new Enzo.
Again, he was also a bit injury prone, isn't he?
That's one of my issues, where a player is good, the quality is good, but if he's not playing, then what does he offer you? And going a bit off topic is like Reece Jones. Great Reece Jones. I think he's an absolute colossal of a player, beast. But the problem is, if he's only available 5 or 6 games of the year to you, when do you as a club say, you know what?
Something to chill with.
Yeah, as a club you say, if Real Madrid come knocking maybe next summer, if he's had another okay season in terms of playing, do you take the offer? Yeah, do you bite the bullet and say, look, yeah, we'll let him go?
So who are you buying?
So Kieran Dewsbury-Hall.
Dewsbury-Hall's one,
yeah,
it's
because we've been linked with.
I think you put an offer in today.
Yeah, an offer in. But in terms of what we do need as well, I don't think we need a left back. I think Cucurella, and you would give Chilwell that one season. You've already sold 2 left backs.
Yeah.
And then the second signing, I'd say we need a left back. Sorry, a left winger, not a left back. A left winger, because I've just said we don't need a left back. And a left winger now. Do we need a left winger? So Williams comes into mind. Do you go for someone like that? But again, his release clause is quite gettable, but you have to pay it all off.
And I don't think Chelsea want to pay
in lump sum, so they might have to pay a little bit extra, but then pay in instalments. But then his wages will be probably quite a lot.
So sorry, just to be arrogant, some players, and for the audience, they have something in their contract called a release clause.
Oh yeah.
So what happens is if Chelsea, this player Williams, who does he play for?
For Atletico Bilbao.
Yeah. He plays in the Spanish league for
Athletic Club or something. Yeah.
So if Chelsea come and they want to buy you, there's 2 ways they can do it. They can negotiate with the club and say we will pay you X amount, or they can say to the league, say to the league, right, we're going to pay 60 million release clause, all in full 60 million pound in one go for this player. They say to the league. The league informs the team, and the players then release from his contract, and he can negotiate with Chelsea. Does that make sense? Yeah. Or what Chelsea could do is, because they don't want to pay 60 million in one go, they want to do like Kana payments. Yeah. They want to do like
creative accounting.
They want to do installments. So what they'll do is then they'll go to they'll go to Bilbao and they'll say, right, we'll give you 20 million this season, 20 million the next season, and we'll give you 30 million the following season. So we'll give you 70 million in total. So the incentive for Atletico is to say, okay, we're going to get 70. We're not going to get it all in one go, but we're going to get more of money eventually.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's when we're talking about release clauses. That's what they are.
What difference does this make from getting a player on loan? And
So a loan player, essentially, you have to give back.
yeah.
So if I take you to my team on loan, it's for a fixed period. So it could be for 3 months, 6 months, whatever the period
Could be a
is
full
defined
season.
under that
Yeah.
contract that you've done. So it could say, Arvin, you're going to play for Arsenal for a season, and then when that season finishes, you're going to go back to Liverpool
okay.
because that's your parent club. They're the ones that own you. Okay.
But this is much more cheaper way.
Well, yeah, it's cheaper, but you don't then get the full value of the player in a sense because it can work two ways. So if the player's not that good, you're okay because you can give him back. He's not your problem. If he turns out to be really good, then you've took that player for a year, but then you've given a really good player back to Liverpool. So you've made them stronger, made yourself weaker.
Sometimes, how I'd always go for a loan is a loan with the option to buy. So then you get that fixed valuation of the player before you take him.
Yeah.
So if you do improve him, you buy that player. You could even Real Madrid done it the other day. They've taken Joselu on loan.
Yeah.
They've improved him, and
Bought
then
him
they've
for
bought him for like 1.5 million euros, and now I think they're selling him for a bit of a profit. So fair enough.
So
they've done
what
something
in
there.
some loans, what you can do is I could loan you, for example, again, I'm going to use your example, and bring you to Arsenal.
Yeah.
But I could agree with Liverpool that okay, you're going to be on loan for 1 year, and then I'm going to have an option in that deal that we do
Yeah.
to say that if we want to exercise that option, we can buy you for 20 million. So you get an option or you get an obligation. Now obligation means you have to buy that player at the end of that. But what reason, we'll get into this on later episodes to make it's a bit more technical. So you can either have an option, which is your choice then to buy him, or an obligation, which means you have to buy him. Anyway, going back to your
So my last choice would be
last choice player.
goalkeeper. I think we need a bit of a commanding goalkeeper. I think Petrovic has done quite well. And I think Sanchez is okay. And I know they want to give Sanchez a bit of an opportunity. But
I think you could probably combine the two.
yeah,
You get like the perfect goalkeeper.
exactly. There's, I think Las Palomares, the goalkeeper's meant to be quite good. He's 6'7".
Hard to say. isn't it,
Yeah,
really?
but then also you've got I think he's a Polish goalkeeper that we had at youth level. He went to PSG, and I think PSG sold him to Nice. I forgot his name. I think it's Bunker.
I think you mentioned that day as well. That is it the AC Milan goalkeeper?
Yeah.
Is he whose goalkeeper? Is he Portugal?
He's no France's goalkeeper.
Yeah, sorry, Francis. He's quite
He was quite
like
good. He's a lot of
sizable
money.
season.
Yeah, he's like, from what I heard, he was like 80 million euros.
So you've got centre back.
I went for I went for a left winger, a goalkeeper, and I went for Kieran
Okay,
Dewey.
no
So
centre back.
they're my three. And then the ones that I'd sell is Trevor, which I don't want to, but my head says he's going to go. My heart says hopefully he doesn't.
Connor.
And Connor the same. And I'd say also I said what you call it, Disasi, which obviously again is 50-50 whether we keep him, because we do have a lot of players in that position, and two, we have a lot of games next year with the Club World.
But guys, let us know again if you disagree, your opinion differs. Put it in the comments.
You
let us
probably
know.
will, because I've seen on social media there's so many people don't want Kieran Dewsbury Hall.
So anyway,
You
guys,
probably
to
will.
finish up, let's just go with one simple